Hello guys, welcome to the first episode of I've Been Thinking. My name is Christina, also known as Christy. You may recognize me from another show that I happen to be on called Chatting with Christi&Cookie. I do that with my daughter, and we do it every so often when we feel like just recording a video. I want to do this one a little bit more consistently because I do like talking politics and I do like talking what's going on today. And I feel like we can have some really good conversations, especially because these are things that I be thinking about. So, tonight's episode is going to be discussing just a couple of things that I've seen in the last maybe 2 or 3 days on the news, because I do watch the news pretty regularly, and I would like to know what the F. Okay, so the first topic that I would like to discuss is what the F, Congress. So you have decided, the Republicans in Congress have decided that the people that are getting the extra $600 a month are being incentivized not to work. Isn't that what you intended? Because you said in the beginning of this pandemic that you are safer at home. If you have underlying diseases and issues, that you are safer to work at home than spreading it to the public. These are people that have worked in industries that have had a lot of issues due to the COVID virus, like bars, restaurateurs, and things like that. Those guys, they've been laid off. I mean, I know that there's even people in call centers that have been laid off as a result of COVID because they just don't have the need for those particular types of calls. So those people were getting an extra $600 a month. This is helping them pay their bills, and this is everyday Americans that voted for these people in Congress. So even if I didn't vote for you specifically, you still have to look out for me because I live in the state that you are charged to take care of, right? Your job is to care about the people and your constituents in your state, not the people that you have that pay you money from lobbyists and things like, and your let me get back on track. So Congress decided that those guys, they don't need that money, an extra $600 a month or extra $600 pay period. Now, let's think about this. Those guys have never lived on that amount. Even the amount with the extra $600, yes, that's lightning. It's I live in Florida. It's no big deal. So even those people with that are making that extra $600, I can assure you that it's very few members of Congress that have in their life ever made that amount, anything close to that amount. They've always made more. They've been, from the time they were kids, they've never seen a check as low as the ones that these guys are seeing. I can guarantee you that. But let me tell you what Congress believes. So they gave that money. They say, okay, you can have it. Now, you don't need an extra $600. Okay? Even if I said I understood that, which I don't, let's talk about the fact that when you did the Paycheck Protection Program, it was necessary to give American Airlines an $5,810,000,000. What do they need that for? They charge me $50 extra for every bag that I carry on. So, I don't see them struggling for money. They had a good quarter, as a matter of fact. So even if they did have to take a loss this quarter, they're not going out of business. I can assure you that there were ways that they can avoid from going out of business. We've bailed them out. We already bailed them out. They are all right. Okay, Delta, $5,810,000,000. Delta, $5.4 billion. They need it. They need that extra money. The Lakers, who ended up giving the money back because they got caught, $4.6 million. What they need that money for? They're going to be all right. They're players. They're not having to pay the players. They can afford to pay the people that would normally working there. So maybe you should give them some kind of a stipend, but not even a stipend. I would say some kind of reimbursement for those people. But if you gave those people unemployment, they don't need that stipend. So what do the big companies need that money for? I don't know. I can't imagine what they could use it for. Are they're not having games? No. Okay. They're players. They have already been paid. They got their money, right? Okay. The people that worked in the stadium, they would be getting the unemployment. So what would you find necessary benefit for them to get that money? What loophole did that make sense? Okay, let's not talk about them. Let's talk about Mr. Kanye West, our presidential candidate. Mr. Kanye West was able to get more than $2 million. Now, I kind of remember him saying that, he's not broke. He ain't a broke, right? Why does he need that money? But the extra $600 that you were giving to these people that weren't working, that was too much. Okay. I don't buy it. I need you, Congress, to make sure that you take care of the people and the constituents that elected you and stop worrying about all the dumb shit that you've been worried about. These people need this money to pay their rent. Okay? That money, first of all, you've waited this long. You've known since March that these people needed this money and they needed to know what to do. They need to know. People that are expecting an extra $600 a month and are happy about it, let me explain to you, they plan their money. They can't just say, you know what, I may get it. I may not get it. So let's just go ahead and assume they don't have extra like that. I don't know anybody that has extra like that can say, you know what, I'm not going to be working, but, I'll have this extra money. And then you tell them that they're not going to get it anymore. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. You are charged to care for these people, not just take care of what you think is best for you. It doesn't matter what you need. You don't need that money. You've never been without. So God forbid, through a pandemic, people have money to pay their bills. Okay. Now, mind you, on top of that, the hold on rent, that ends at the end of the month. So now these people that have been using that money to pay their little bills while they haven't been working, it's July 27th, my birthday, and the end of the month is the 31st. The 1st is coming. What are they going to do? You don't give a hell. You don't care about that. They don't need it because they have extra. They should have saved that money. Mind you, those people that are getting that unemployment, it took you for freaking ever to give them that money. So now I know that's not Congress, that's the state's fault, but they were behind in bills already. So they had to use whatever money that they got from that unemployment towards back owed bills. Now, I don't know if you know how back owed bills work, but I'm going to tell you something. There's this thing that's called late fees and interest. So they paid what they owed plus late fees plus interest on whatever it was that they owed. So now that leaves them with nothing. I'm sure they'd like to eat. I'm sure that's something that people do on a regular basis. Okay, I'm going to get off you, Congress. I'm done. I had to get that off my chest because I've been thinking about that. Just makes me mad. Next thing I'm going to talk about. President Donald Trump has decided that he's not going to address the passing of Congressman John Lewis. Now, Congressman John Lewis, if you're not aware, was he was the last speaker at the March on Washington, which means that he has been in the fight for equal rights and equal justice under the law since before Martin Luther King was assassinated. Okay, he has done more for equal rights in this country. I'm sure that most people in Congress, they called him the conscience of Congress, right? Donald Trump's not going to address him. Why? I mean, I understand that he had some things that you didn't agree with, but I wonder what it is that you think would make it a good idea not to address a congressman that passed away after serving 17 terms. Do you know how many years 17 terms is? I know that most people don't know this. I had to Google it. 17 terms is 33 years. So this man has devoted 33 years of his life to serving our country. Meanwhile, your ass wouldn't even serve in Vietnam because for flat feet, I don't know, some dumb. You wouldn't serve in Vietnam. In 87, I looked it up. In 87, Trump was married. He had to give his ex-wife, a $4 million home. So you going through a divorce in 87. 89 is the year that you took out the full-page ad to expressing that you wanted the 5 innocent kids to get the death penalty. Yeah, that's what you were doing in the 80s. Meanwhile, Senator Lewis was serving the country, trying to get equal rights for everybody. And guess what, guys? One more thing I want to point out to you all, just so you know, equal rights for everyone benefits us all. So if I have equal rights as you, this country is better. Guess what? Black people contribute quite a lot to America. Okay, even if you just take our culture alone, there's so many things of black culture that has progressed the United States past where they are, the world past where they are. You know, you don't appreciate it, but if it wasn't there, you would know. Even just as basic as seasoning, okay? Lawry's, okay? If you take it just basic, you take it to the larger scale, people like John Lewis serving in Congress and serving the country. We need people like him to keep others like you honest. Woosah. Anyway, I think that's going to be enough for my show today. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it. If you liked what you saw and you feel like you would like to have a conversation with me, I would love your feedback. So leave a comment in the comments. Also, please take the time to like and subscribe to my channel, as I do plan on posting pretty regularly. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.